Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Peace, peace. Divine Rising. I made sure I got back on here as soon as possible. Had a lot of work to do yesterday. Completed it, so that's what matters. Divine Rising. All right, so we pick up after that short read yesterday. We pick up at page 61 in chapter 7 of this book. So peace. Welcome you to Divine Rising at highest heart. All right. Yep, we made it again. Happy Thursday. Okay. Chapter 7, Kept Back, Kevin Jenkins. And this is going to be funny. This is good, really good too. All right. Kept back, Kevin Jenkins. Where's my daddy? I asked as my eyes met Frank inside his car. My voice started cracking at the thought of how much trouble I was in. Let's not start crying now, Georgie. There's something I have to talk to you about. I need you to listen to me real good. I know sneaking out of the house, Daddy's so mad he probably don't even want to look at me, huh? That's not what we need to concentrate on right now. Your father called us. They had to rush Peaches to the emergency room. What? What do you mean? I don't have all the details, but she started vomiting and she was running a high fever. Fever? I repeated like I'd never heard the word. My lips started trembling. Peaches told me herself that she wasn't feeling well, and I knew she was warmer than she should have been. She trusted me to take care of her. My heart beat faster. What did I do? I dangled the fact that I was such a good big sister over her head and pretty much told her to suck it up. I'd spent all that time calling out Lucinda for thinking the world revolved around her, and I was just as bad. I stared out of the window so Frank couldn't see the tears in my eyes. Can you take me to her now? I raised up in my seat and put my hand on the dashboard like I could steer the car. We're on our way. Your mom, dad, and Millicent are there. Tangi sends her best, but hospitals, let's just say that we've been through a lot in them. Then it hit me what he'd really meant. Morgan, Tangi didn't even have her baby sister on this earth, and here I was mistreating mine. The tears flowed. I couldn't stop them. Peaches was in the hospital because of me. She needed me and I let her down. I wanted to admit to Frank that what I had done, but it was just too terrible to tell. I didn't bother to wipe my tears. What was the use? Are we going to the hospital where they took your wife and little girl? Yeah, we are, Emery. Here we are, Emery. He said the word as softly as Tangi placed the picture of Morgan back on the dresser after I'd let it crash to the floor. Frank turned on the radio and an invitation to shop at Big Lots ran out. I guess the whole thing was upsetting him, too. Even though Peaches wasn't his real daughter, he'd forgotten about Mama no car radio rule. Families don't get enough time to talk as it is, she'd say. I jabbed my elbows into my knees and something crunched. I eased on my hand and I eased my hand in my pocket and pulled out the Macy's box, then shoved it back. I was the worst big sister in the world. All I'd done to get Tangy to like me, and I'd forgotten about the person who loved me more than anything. When tears trickled along my neck, I did my best to stop them and not make any crying noises except for an occasional sniffle. Frank didn't say anything, but at a traffic light, he opened up the glove compartment and handed me a few tissues. We got out of the car, and he reached for my hand as we crossed the lot. I grabbed it like I was catching a grasshopper, knowing I'd let it go, but wanting to see how it felt. Frank's hand was like a polished stone, hard but still smooth. Unlike Daddy's, who rubbed his hands with cocoa butter to keep them soft as a baby's bottom. He used to say to Mama, if I sold a car as often as I shook hands, we'd be millionaires. Once we entered the hospital, Frank let go of my hand, and all I could think about was seeing Peaches. We need to go to the fourth floor, he said, and pushed the up button. Instead of the alcohol, Cloroxy smell that I remembered from when Grandma Sugar had what she called a scare, the hallway smelled of coffee. Pediatrics, I read on the framed directions on the wall. Frank held the elevator open for the lady and two girls behind him. A skinny boy held a McDonald's bag, and the bag scent of French fries only made my stomach sink more. Peaches always ate her up hers and then wanted some of mine. As soon as the doors opened, the lady and the kids got off, and Frank and I followed. I gritted my teeth to keep myself from crying. Frank put his hand on my shoulder, and I really wished that he would have held my hand again. But I didn't know how to reach for his yet, like I would Daddy's. Or maybe I didn't want Daddy to see me holding hands with Frank. All my thoughts were jumbled. You okay? Frank said. Yes, sir, I said, which was about the umpteenth fib I had told that day. Frank led me to a waiting room. It looked like a bigger version of Peach's room at home, with Disney and Sesame Street characters and sunshine walls. Several shelves and tables overflowed with books, board games, and puzzles. Close to a picture of Big Bird, Millipede sat on an orange sofa. No mama, no daddy, just a Pede. Is Peaches coming home? I blurted out. No word yet, young lady, Millipede said. We should know something before long, Frank said, and sat down. Millipede gripped my shoulders and held me at arm's length. You know, you worried us like crazy, she said to me, sick and all. Peaches wouldn't tell us where you were. Your daddy guessed you were at Nikki's. I wiped my eyes with the edge of my sleeve. She pulled me close and rubbed my hair. I just didn't have the strength to pull away. I didn't think she was really sick. Not this kind of sick. That might have been the most honest thing I said in a while. I really wouldn't have left her if I thought she was hospital sick. That didn't even matter now. I know that's not my G baby crying, is it? I heard Grandma Sugar's voice in the back of me and turned toward it. She stood there with Eugene, one of the guys she took care of. She said that his body kept on growing, but his brain was like being a kid. I ran over and hugged Sugar. It didn't matter what time of the day or where we were. Sugar always smelled of her dusting power, wind song. One sniff was apples and the other roses. I saved up and bought it for her every Christmas. Her baseball cap who'd had Who Dat Nation on front of, and Her silver and black hair curled along her neck. Sugar missed her daddy. Sugar missed her G baby. Your daddy can think all he wants that it's George's baby, but we know what it means, don't we? Grandma's baby, grandma's baby. I said, hoping that hugging Sugar would make me not as scared, but it wasn't working. The volcano of tears that had been bubbling up in me erupted. Sugar hugged me tighter and patted my flattened ponytail, but my whole stomach just caved in. If it wasn't for Sugar, I couldn't stand. For what felt like an hour, I held on to Sugar. Now, sweetie, Peaches will be home before you know it. She kissed my cheeks on both sides like rich people do on TV. She knows that always makes me smile even when I don't want to. Then she eased me down in the chair next to Eugene, and I wiped my eyes. It's small, small, it's small, Eugene said, and reached for my wrist. I jumped. He sprung up. You know he won't hurt you, G baby. Sugar held up her wrist and he poked it. Not small, small, Eugene said. You got good sense. Sit back down there and read. Later we'll go for another ride. Would you like that? Eugene sat down. Dark desert on the highway. Cool whip in my hair. Yeah. Those aren't the right words, but we'll sing Hotel California. But you gotta behave yourself. He bobbed and sang out. What a nice surprise. Bring your apple pies. Sugar tapped on his knee. And hush up before you get us put out of here. Hush up before you get us put out of here. Hush up before you get us put out of here, he repeated. I was just bringing him over this way for an appointment when your mother called. I don't see how she was driving at all. Said Peaches had already been admitted before she heard a word. Frank stood and she kissed his cheek too. Then she said, Millie, and just nodded to her. Any word? She said to Frank. Not yet, he said. Lord, I wish I could stay, Grandma Sugar said. Couldn't find a soul to take over my shift. Tell Kat I'll check back later. I'm sure this is just a stomach flu or something. Maybe, ate something that didn't agree with her. Sugar glanced toward Millipede, who shifted in her chair. It wasn't a secret that Millipede wasn't on Sugar's or Mama's Christmas list. Mama don't know it, but I heard her tell Sugar that Millipede went after Daddy long before the ink dried. And now it was all because of me that things weren't going to get better anytime soon, if ever. Thank you so much for being here and reading books with us. Hi, it's Heart Love. Gratitude for the likes and subs. We are pushing towards 700 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So thank you so much for being here and reading with us. Hi, it's Heart Love and Honor. All right, we're on page 67 for those reading along with us. Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Sugar kissed my forehead. You call Sugar if you need anything. Peaches will be out before you know it. I love you both to the moon and back. That's what my mom always says too. I love you to the moon and back. That's what all right. Eugene was rocking. Moon, moon. The cow jumped over the moon. The dish ran away with the spoon. Spoon. Hey diddle diddle. Hey diddle diddle. Come on here, boy, Sugar said. Before she took his hand, she dug in her purse. Want to get yourself something out of the vending machine while you're waiting, baby? She asked me. Yes, ma'am. She handed me $2. Kissed me again. Come right back, Georgie, Frank added and pointed up to the signs for the vending area. Yes, sir. Grandma Sugar and Eugene headed toward the elevators, and I followed the arrows. The hospital floor was so slippery that I wished I had worn my sneakers. Although I wasn't hungry or thirsty, I didn't want to see Mama right away. How could I ever explain to her that Peaches had been taken to the hospital and I wasn't anywhere to be found? My eyes felt like balloons about to pop with tears. Lights, people, just about everything looked blurry, like Peach's finger paintings Mama always hung on the refrigerator. After about 2 minutes into my sad stroll down the hospital halls, someone sang out, Look who's here, the smartest girl and sweet apple. I recognized the voice and my steps got tangled up. Don't act like you don't hear me, Georgie. I dabbed at my eyes and wiped the corner of my mouth before I turned around. I won't be at Sweet Apple next year, I said. Well, you know what I mean. I didn't have to walk back but a step or two before I was standing in front of kept back Kevin Jenkins. Never seen him outside of school or our old neighborhood. What are you doing here? I said. Duh, somebody's sick. He was wearing a short sleeve shirt with a picture of the Incredible Hulk on it. There was a tear at the knee of his jeans. His afro was short and neat. At school, the teacher made him take out the tiny diamond in his ear. Nikki said it wasn't nothing but glass. Sorry, is it somebody in your family? Who are you? A caseworker? Nah. You getting a drink? Yeah, and some peanut M&Ms. Well, you headed the wrong way. The best vending machine is at the other end. Follow me. We walked down the hall together. So, what about you? Kept back Kevin asked. What about me? What? Who do you know is sick? Now, who's a caseworker? Kevin smirked. I can't be one. They're always women. Kevin smirked. No, they're not. Men and women can have the same jobs. Bet you don't even know what one is. Someone who handles cases like a lawyer, which is what Mama told me I'd have. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh. Divine rising, clearing it out. That's what happens in the early AM, right? Get it all out. I did my workout. That was oof, exhilarating. So powered up. Just like I thought. Are you going to tell me who's sick? My sister. Oh, that's why you've been crying, I sighed. Yeah, that would make anyone cry. Guess so. Is she older or younger? Younger, I said, and wiped my hand across my eyes. Glad tears didn't fall. She'll be okay, he said, then nodded toward the vending machines. They're right there. Against the blandness of the hospital halls, they stood out like brightly colored robots. We stopped in front of a row of them. Kept back Kevin leaned so close to me that our arms touched. I almost expected Nikki to jump from behind the vending machine and yell, "Ooh, you like him! You like him!" But then I remembered why I was in the hospital in the first place. And what if Mama or Daddy turned that corner and caught me standing arm to arm with a boy? I moved over. What would Tangy do? Not gonna bite you, Kevin said. I straightened out my dollar. Didn't say that you were. Not wanting peanuts stuck between my teeth, I only got a Coke. You never told me who was sick, I said as we walked back to the waiting area. My mama. I ride my bike up here every day to check on her. He shoved his hands in his pockets. Don't bother saying sorry. She keeps doing it to herself. She got diabetes. The doctors told her to stop drinking and smoking, and she keeps doing both. So she's supposed to stay away from junk food and sodas. He pointed to my Coke. That's her favorite. Drinks about 6 a day. Gosh, that's a lot. Hope she can go home soon. What for? She never does what the doctors say do and ends up right back. That's why I can't wait to go live with my dad. Where is he? Rochester, New York. It's 962 miles away. Wow, I heard of it, I said, and added it to my list of fibs. But I planned to look it up once Peaches was home, and Mama let me get onto the internet. When you going? I needed, uh, I needed to keep talking about anything so I wouldn't explode again, though every word got harder to say without my voice cracking. Soon, the words swirled around us and made the time seem magical and far away. When we got close to the waiting room, he kept walking with me while I let the unopened Coke sweat in my palm. I glanced up, and there was Mama rushing toward me. Kevin whispered, I better go. Okay, bye. See you around. See ya. I didn't really hear the words I said. All I could think about was Peaches and how upset Mama would be. The closer she got, the more her eyes looked like Kevin's, way deep down, sad. Read that again. The closer she got, the more her eyes looked like Kevin's, way down, deep, sad. And we completed chapter 7 of Love Like Sky. When we uh, reconvene and continue reading this book, we will be in chapter 8. And I can't wait to bring that to you. I want you to have a wonderful and absolutely brilliant Thursday. Thank you for reading Love Like Sky with us by Leslie C. Youngblood on the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Divine Rising, Bismillah. Thank you so much for being here. Much love. Yeah. The light workers bringing you a peaceful place on YouTube where you can read And, I'm a master fitness trainer and master poet. If you have any questions or could help out in the fitness realm, I'd love to be able to help you. So you can leave questions on the videos, chats, or you can email me at urielriley@gmail.com. All right. We will have a glass of love water in honor to all the solar returns we have today. And I want to give a love and shout out to all my family and friends. Love you so much. So, on this part of YouTube, we always drink some love water and sing I love you to the people. Shaking it up on YouTube, reading books. Much love. Thank you so much for being here. Fine Rising. I love you. Dad, Mom, Tamika, my brothers, sisters. I love you so much. My daughter, Isis. We're doing it, right? Doing it. I told you. Gotta continue to shine the light on the world. Be that light, right? Uplift the people. I love you. Mm. Mm. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. That's some beautiful love water. Well, so we will see you soon, right? We are pushing towards 700 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube, bringing you live from the light here in LA. Have a wonderful Thursday. I will see you soon, okay? I will make sure I put it in the playlist. You can just tap on it and read the book with us the entire way through when it's complete. All right? Highest heart love. Ay, 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 ay. Love, 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 love you. I. Love, 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 love. You. You. You know it, 'cause I love myself. Right, right. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon. Thank you for the likes and subs. I'll see you soon. Peace, peace.